Life is too short to play small. You were designed for big things. You are listening to the Big Design Energy Podcast. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is an episode I have been teasing for a while. I actually recorded a different version where I share the story of how I met my dragon, right? My vision of my dragon, and I'd never released it. But of course I didn't, because everything happens when it's supposed to happen. And I have some new insight and something I believe is really going to hit home, hit hard, make a difference for those who are ready to hear it, for those whose time it is to hear this. And it's all about different spiritual experiences being used as a permission slip. I believe I have talked about permission slips before in regards to maybe believing in yourself, investing in yourself, having confidence within yourself. But today I want to take a different route. So, permission slips, as spiritual experiences go, this is a way that allows this unconscious, higher awareness, higher consciousness to be known, to have a part in your life where all logic is out the window, where what you're doing and what you want to do, maybe you think no one will understand you. No one will believe you. You think it's bullshit. How could this even be real? Whatever it is, this spiritual experience is used as a permission slip then for your mind to come to grips, to come to terms with the fact that maybe logic isn't needed. Maybe we don't have to have the right answers to follow the proven steps and systems and strategies to get to where we want to go. Some spiritual experiences happen naturally, or what I like to say, without the assistance of drugs, weed, mushrooms, ayahuasca, any other different forms of ways to alter consciousness, to peel back the veil, so they can happen, both ways. Either way, whatever you need to experience, you will experience, right? So this permission slip lets us believe, lets us defy logic. Now, especially if you are actively choosing to partake in mushrooms or ayahuasca or hape, different spiritual medicines, different plant medicines, let's say, you are the plant medicine is your permission slip to get to a space of having these spiritual experiences. Okay? So there's one way. Now, if this happens naturally, the spiritual experience is the permission slip. There's no other one prior to that. The spiritual experience still is a further permission slip for the self-induced ? The self-guided spiritual experience. This spiritual experience is what you need, what your mind needs at the time to bring to light, to become aware of whatever you need to become aware of. At my friend's wedding, I was chatting with another couple, and we were talking about House of Dragons. And I mean, if we're on the topic of dragons, why wouldn't I bring up my dragon? My husband, he says the funniest thing, which makes me chuckle, even right now when I think of it. And he goes, okay, why don't we just talk about things that are not real? Well, I could argue, how real is this reality? How are you more real than my dragon is real? But if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. We don't need to go into that. But I love that quote. I love that quote from him. Let's talk about stuff that is not real. So that's just what the spiritual experience is. Something that is not real, but it's a permission slip to break out of the mind and into your higher consciousness. And more often than not, we need that in the beginning. But it's when we crave, and I know I did, trying to control, trying to manipulate the universe, trying to recreate the same experience over and over and over again, is when, if it's not needed, if I need to experience that experience again, I will. If you need to have this, astral travel experience or speaking with angels, then you will. But if you don't, then you will not. No matter how much you meditate, how many guided meditations you do, doing ayahuasca, shrooms, or whatever. If you move to the mountains in Tibet and just literally only fucking meditate, if you are not supposed to have that experience, then you will not. Now I'll share my experience and where it led me and how it got me here to this moment today. A lot of times we don't understand the full scope of things. Hindsight's 2020, right? We don't understand the full scope of things until down the road. I don't even know if this is a full scope, right? I have no way of knowing. But in this moment, this is all I know. So with this vision of seeing my dragon, it tried to happen once and I shut it down quick. So I was laying in bed both times, as close to pitch black as you can, just a little maybe glimmer of light coming through the blinds. I'm sober. I have my eyes shut. I am not asleep, very much awake. And I start to see something. It encompasses my full scope of vision with my eyes closed. And it looks scary. It looks dangerous. I see what looks kind of similar to scales. And then I see an eye open up, and it has the reptilian almost quality of it, where the iris is more of a long slanted versus a circle appearance. And the scales were so dark, it was almost black, but it was just enough pigmentation for me to see the outline and the detail. But I saw this, and it was up close and personal. It was as if kind of like looking at a fishbowl. So I just saw the one eye, and then just like the little skin next to the eye. So it was like the dragon was peering in a little fishbowl, of my mind. So I said no, rolled over, went to sleep. Now, a couple weeks later, it started to happen again. This time, I called in all the support, all the protection, angels, ancestors, guardians, the white light surround me, whatever. I called in all my support and said, okay, set my intention. If this is safe and what I need to see, then I am willing to see it. Then it started happening. So then I am, aware of the creature, what it is, that it is a dragon, and am transported with this dual vision. I am able to see from my point of view, see from the dragon's point of view, and see from like an upper, all-encompassing point of view, as if watching a movie. We were at this island-looking place, beautiful tropic, a lot of green and foresty. There were these rocks coming out of the sea next to the island, and maybe, I don't even know how many feet tall, maybe 20 feet tall, and just about wide enough for me to be sitting doing my little yoga lotus pose, crisscross applesauce, right? And that was just a sole rock next to the island. There was a few other rocks around, and I am seeing this dragon in just, the realest clarity. Because I don't know about you, in dreams, you see things, but it's not, you might not get the full picture. It might not clear. You might have a sense of what's going on, but it's not. This was just so crystal clear. Like, I wanted to say 4K, but now I saw there's a fucking 8K TV out. So I guess it's 8K. I don't know. It was so real. It was as if I was there. There's no other way to explain it besides it was as real as my office as I'm sitting in right now. And so I see this dragon fight another creature in the air. And so I'm able to, see it from all these different perspectives. It's this crazy fight, doing all these things, so flying in the air. All of a sudden, that dragon wins and shoots down, dives underwater, and starts fighting another creature underwater. So I'm, sitting atop this 20-foot, whatever, tall rock, but simultaneously I'm able to see underwater and see the fight. It's just crazy. So that dragon wins the fight again, comes up, and then starts flying around me, starts circling me. And when I use this to describe it, I kind of first, like circling a prey. That's what first my mind goes to, but it was not that way at all. It was a protective circle. It was letting me know, listen, I just fucked something up in the air. I just fucked something up underwater. I'm protecting you. Like, do not be afraid. You are safe. I'm here for you. And then it ends, and then I'm awake in bed, and my husband's snoring next to me, and I'm like, what the fuck? I guess I have to go to sleep now, but like, how do you sleep after that? So, I tried to do research on dragons. It was surprisingly, hard to find information that wasn't Dragon Ball Z or Dungeons of Dragons, because that was the main two things that popped up. I'm sure now House of Dragons would be another one. But I did end up finding a podcast episode and some other material, and that led me to a few different places, which led me to uncovering so much more information that has really assisted me in being open to receiving the newfound awareness that I have. Stuff like collective consciousness, multiple realities, higher consciousness, more kind of maybe the workings behind that, and just understanding these greater concepts better, being open to believing in them, like you believe in your office that you're sitting in, like you believe in the car that you're driving. So this vision brought to light a lot of things I needed to be aware of, right? The issue of safety and control, which ultimately, right, all of the situations I feel like we can boil down to a single fear, which is survival. As humans, we all want to survive, and do anything we can to survive. And so when we have these conditionings, these other beliefs, these situations that arise, why we get so worked up about and why our bodies react the way they do is because we're afraid, if I can't make money, if I can't pay my bills, if I can't pay my rent, then I'm going to be homeless, then I'm going to be on the side of the street and no one's going to care about me or love me, and I'll have no money for food, and then I will die alone under the street. I'll be dead. And then what? And then what? So as of now, this was a great, it was the perfect, because of course it happened. So of course it was the perfect thing I needed to experience. But the perfect spiritual experience to get me where I am now. The permission slip I needed to believe that dragons are real, to believe that unicorns are real, to believe that whatever, right? Because let's talk about things that aren't real. Who's to say what is real and what is not real? Now, I'm not necessarily looking for feedback on this, but I just felt this needed to be shared, this permission slip. So if you have had an experience like this, which you feel like you're searching for answers and you can't find any answers and you can't recreate it, I'll offer you this. You don't need to find answers. They will find you. You do not need to recreate it. If you need to experience it again, you will. So whatever reason you had for experiencing it will become clear, or it won't. And regardless, it serves you. Thank you for listening to Big Design Energy. Please share with your friends, share on social media if this resonated with you today. Rate, review, and subscribe.